Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ikslorin and welcome back to the Urban Terror Nations Cup 17. We are right now here in the middle of the quarterfinals between USA and Hungary, where USA after the first game on Abe captured the flag actually got it home after a 7-5, which was not, as you can hear already with the final score, they weren't as such having just dominating the opponent's team. Actually, map control wasn't clear at any point, which could also be seen in the fact that the flags were contested at the same times really a lot. At least there were 3 times that you saw a hot potato happen, and never was the hot potato thing issue really solved before the hot potato went off. So that was a very, very close game between these two teams that seemed to actually be very, very equal, which was probably not what anyone expected, at least of Hungary. USA, you know that they are good, but Hungary sadly don't, but they have actually been delivering a pretty much a really good Cinderella story here, going through all of the group stage without really losing to anyone except a draw against Germany. And with at least what they've showed on Abe, they're still very much in this and shouldn't be counted out just because that USA took the first map of these two. So, just to make sure that before we get right into the game, let's just look at this map itself. Tuhunga Beta 8, not Beta 10, that is the newest one, which is probably not a surprise to most because Beta 8 is actually just, as it seems, the most popular one of them all. I have, as I said earlier, I guess it's because it's just that the meta has been figured out on that map, but it's also because that Beta 10 is so different in some ways. There have been some rather important changes to it, so the flow is completely changed, and because of that also the meta, which is, I guess, just something that people didn't like. Maybe there's another important issue with the Beta 10 that I am not aware of, but Beta 10 came out around the time where I stopped playing, so I cannot really tell you. I played it maybe 2 or 3 times, and then that was it. So, how do you play Tuhunga? What can we expect from these two teams is the question here, really. That is what I'm trying to answer before we get right into the game. And there are 2 approaches you can do to go for this. The one I would say myself is the weaker approach, is the one that you do also on Casa and a lot of other maps, where you pretty much divide the map into 2 parts and by drawing a line throughout the middle of the map, where each team then will be sitting on either side of the map and then just poking at each other, trying to see if they can find some hole in their opponent's defense, and if they do so, they will move in and kill their opponents. That is at least how you normally play Casa, and then you can maybe sometimes run all 5 into the market and then try and see where you can go from there. This map, on the other hand, at least how I was playing it back then, was more of a somewhat market rush approach, just like you do on Casa sometimes, but just in general, where you are going to have as these 4 spawns, as you can see here, and I'm pretty sure you cannot spawn at the 2 that are close to each other. You always have to take one on the left and one on the right, if I'm not mistaken. But where was I? Well, yes. Yeah, fair enough. Where you're going. So, just like the rushing on Casa to the market, you are going to try and go all 5 to the other side of the map and take in that, just like as if the other side of the map was the market. Splitting probably into 2 groups with 3 on one side and 2 going through the middle in some way, depending on the route. Maybe also just all 5 staying maybe at the silo, or just all 5 going to the opponent's side. That at least was the way that I am used to playing this map, and how I have seen most others also do so. But the approach of just drawing a line throughout the map and just try and camp it out, just like you do on Casa, should in theory be able to also work. At least there are so many corners in here, it should be possible to find a comfortable spot to get your opponent to just keep your opponent at bay and actually poke at them rather than just getting killed by 5 guys. Because still, as I've said in a lot of other before a lot of other games, and also what I was saying that was the reason why Italy lost in one of their games. Sometimes it doesn't matter about the skill, but just about the number. If you're 1 guy and they are 3, you have to be really, really good if you want to be winning that matchup or that fight. Sorry. And so because of that, especially as we can see, these 2 teams are very equal, as we saw in the Capture the Flag map. And since Abbey was the map of choice of USA, and Tuhunga is the map of choice of Hungary, I would probably say this map is in favor of Hungary, just because that they seem to be equal, and the fact that USA was winning Abbey was more just to the fact that it was their home map. I guess. Could also map, yeah, I'd say that. So just before we also get into the game, because I have no more to say about this, as I had done in the 2 other last shoutcasts, I tried to introduce the teams in the style of how you do it in StarCraft, by introducing each color and so on. But as it seems, it doesn't really lend itself that well to Urban Terror, as I have figured out myself when I have been reviewing these videos myself, because just the action has already started before I'm finished introducing even one of the teams. I mean, just remember back to the Abbey game where both flags were contested before I had even introduced both teams. Also, on top of that, you would also have to have some proper camera work to really get that to happen. Maybe some kind before you actually view or watch your from the first person perspective, have a free camera going to the spawn of the red guys, where when you introduce them, fly as fast as possible over to the blue guys and introduce them then. But by that time you have pretty much already used 2 minutes or something, so that won't work really. So I will try this one last time just to see if it is in some way possible to get this working, or just, and from there we'll probably just let it be, at least for now, and may try it later, I don't know. So, without further ado, let's just get right into the game, with 14, 13, 12 seconds left. In the red colors, the so well self-named and one up, it's America! Yeah, well, I had to, right? And in the blue colors, can they actually keep the Cinderella story going and force the ace match? It is Hungary. I actually got it to work this time, as it seems. Yes, as we can see here, actually, the approach from both teams have been to just get the to just build up a line, as we can see here, just like we saw on Castle normally. Okay, Hungary is seeming to moving in, but Kok has just moved back and has to get a medic in here. And, whoops. Actually, Hungary got the better approach out of that one fight, but Tarquin, as the last one, has gone throughout the bridge. And it's now 1-on-1. Who gets it? Tarquin gets it for the first round. 1-0 to USA. Tarquin just looking if there's come anyone over the bridge. It's the closest part to the opponent's spawn point. One from Hungary is already moving back. Tarquin already being ready for the one he just spotted to the left, listening and just keeping the sniper ready. Or he didn't even need to look to the left, as it seems as there was already a teammate. I have to look on the minimap. And again, with actually nearly all just still alive from USA, America, yeah, we'll keep doing that too, has taken the second round already. With just, but still, it's 18 minutes to go. It can easily be turned around. As we saw in the Abbey game, actually Hungary was up 1-0 several minutes in. Tarquin doesn't really hit anyone right now. He was rather close, but it was just still 1 centimeter away, and Tarquin is killed by tripods. Hungary with 3 left are pretty much cornered actually as it seems, and with tripods as the last one, with 1 against 3, cannot really survive this, but he is putting up a really big fight, but with putting his back to his opponent and trying to run away, he pretty much sealed the deal there, and it's a 3-0 to USA again. Oh, USA takes the win, making it 3-0, thank you. Now it makes sense. USA has again built up a line, as it seems. That seems actually to be the newer meta, or at least the meta that USA and Hungary are using. Though I would like to actually also see some other approach to this. Server trying to moving in, getting some warning shots off, also hitting twice or 3 times, getting you know why, actually down. So it's... And Tarquin has also in the meantime been killed, so it's 4 against 4 right now. Server moving around to the side as it seems. And nearly killing 1, getting him down. And USA are moving in. Server not looking in the right direction, and that actually cost him his life. But on the other hand, he now has found out what the position is of the Hungarians. And with that, Berko and Cameras are actually able to move in. And get Hungary down. But actually... Ballymaster put up a really big fight, getting, I think, 2 of the USA down before he actually went down himself. And just with last man standing, USA was actually getting that last round. So it's actually getting much closer, as it seems, with these extra rounds. But Hungary are actually getting pretty far behind. I mean, the rounds are only going to get longer from now on if they are going to be more equal. Tarquin engaging one of Hungarians and losing to Kaka. You know why is moving in through the middle, trying to see if he can backstamp someone, as it seems already some other Hungarians were in there. Moscow Jones and Cameras are the only ones still alive from USA. Moscow Jones actually gets 1 down with the M4, but everyone from Hungary actually now knows where the 2 are, and at least Cameras has a map pack, so they actually could get all the way up to full HP again, and it is now a 2-on-2, but they are just camping each other out up and trying to see when they will move in. Hungary has actually moved in, killing one of them. Moscow Jones is the last one alive. And really, Cameras just seemed to get BAFK all of a sudden. And being, as it seemed, there was some captain thing going on. And while he was not paying attention to the game, Hungary just took the opportunity to kill one of them, and now it's a 2-on-1, though Moscow Jones already has killed one of them from a rather far distance, so he surely can do some rather miraculous stuff already from here. But still, with you know why and Ballymaster from Hungary, I would still think that he's still not really... It's not in his favor, and Ballymaster getting a lot of shots down, getting him all the way down to 30% as it seems, though Ballymaster himself has about 90 if I can remember correctly, but in the meantime, Moscow Jones actually killed you know why. And nearly Moscow Jones actually got the hit there, but he wasn't just fast enough on the trigger, and just as Ballymaster jumped out, he was already too fast. And with the LR in hand, and again against an SR8, at least at that distance, if the SR8 doesn't hit the first time, you're pretty much dead. And that means Hungary are getting maybe slowly back into the game. At least it's now a 4-on-1. Some warning grenades are going out, as it seems, trying to see if there's going to be any form of rush, but as it seems, both of them are actually just staying behind their own line and keeping the defense up. Hungary are actually seeming to move in, at least after Moscow Jones has actually has been killed by an SR8 shot. More shots are getting fired. Thank you, fires are not getting shot. Ballymaster getting 1 down, sadly gets killed by Surfer, but Berger being the only one from USA left against 4, that just means that Hungary takes this one down too, and with 2 rounds in a row, Hungary may actually get this one tied up. As it sounds, USA have been trying to move further in, yes, though it has not been paying off. Cameras has actually died because of that, as it seems, and also now Zephyr. Surfer, whatever. Burger and Moscow Jones are moving and getting one down. Probably have to heal up a little bit, but they have to get moving just to be sure that anyone from Hungary don't know their position. But since it's actually 3 on 2, it may work, at least, especially now that Tarquin is all the way up to full HP now again. But now actually Hungary has actually moved it around, making it a 2-1, but then Tarquin actually kills one of them, making it a 1-on-1. Tarquin with 90 HP, engaging Ballermaster and getting him down with barely 10% left. Just killing him with his secondary weapon. Pretty well done, and it's now 5-2, with 12 minutes left. Even though the score says something, I would still say that this is a much more equal game than it looks like from the score. Cocker getting one down, that didn't really look the right direction. And now it's still a 4-on-4. USA losing one guy after the other, meaning it's now, well, they are trading fine as it seems. It seems to be a 1-on-1 trade, meaning it's now at least a 2-on-1 and a 1-on-1, and Burger moves in, kills Ballermaster, who was already engaged in a fight with another one, and didn't have the stamina, nor probably the HP to engage another one just yet. Burger throwing some nades and just seeing if he can get someone at the most likely positions. And stepping on Tarquin's nade that was already pre-cocked earlier. Cam was moving into together with the rest of USA, and it doesn't really pay off. As it seems it was, except for me just bumping into the microphone, it seems like they didn't coordinate their attack just like I didn't coordinate my hands perfectly well. You know why? Firing off some warning shots as it seems more likely, and getting one down and getting two down with Surfer and Cameras down. But still, USA has, on the other hand, have actually been killing a lot of people all sorts of other places. And now it's still a 2-on-2, trading perfectly fine. You know, while going for the DE on a far away distance, not really something you want. Tarquin getting him down with only 28 HP left. And Koga against Tarquin with an Acer 8 on only 20 HP, that won't work. Koga getting him down immediately. Koga moving over to the silo as it seems, though because he was slowed down, he didn't really want to move in anymore. Nades are being thrown. And someone actually getting hit a little bit. Koga got hit for about 5%. USA moving in through the middle. One is killed on either side, but mostly Hungary has actually lost people. With now 3-on-1, 2-on-1 as Zephyr actually gets killed. But USA cleans up again, making it now a 7-on-4. Still, as it seems, Hungary are actually getting the score closer. Still, USA is 3 ahead. But the ratio, at least, is getting slower. Burger moving in again, getting Becker, and with the DE, maybe also get you know why. Yes, he does. You know why? Just didn't really get the shots off. I don't know what he was doing. Either getting another weapon out or reloading or something like that. Burger getting the third kill before he gets taken down by Cocker, who has 1 HP, against Tarquin, who against once with once again with the SR8, and again gets into a close encounter of the Cocker kind, I guess. Okay, Cocker now getting one just after Becker was actually killed. If he was a little bit faster, it was maybe a better trade here. Now it was a 1-on-1. Not really that useful. You want to get a better trades done, or you end up in again a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-1, just like this. Burger again now against you know why, but you know why didn't have much HP left as it seems from that jump, and with that Burger just cleaned it up easily. He had full ammo and all the HP he needed to take that engagement, especially since both were pretty much surprised by that encounter. Burger just sitting down while actually 2 from USA have been killed. With 4 on the Hungarian side left, I think USA should be thinking about moving a little bit more together, close. Or they will just be picked off one by one, as it seems. Burger, yeah, as I said, 3 still alive from Hungary, just because, as it seems, USA didn't really want to move together. Now, I can't say if Hungary did that anyway, but I would at least guess that they did, or because they traded so perfectly fine. You know why? As it seems, getting Cameras killed. Thank you. You know why? Covering Ballymaster as he gets healed all the way back up. And moving in, trying to see if he can get the back of Zephyr. Zephyr should probably be moving around, and he does so too. Engaging the opponent and still be alive, luckily. Wait a minute, Zephyr is the one from USA alive. Oh, sorry. Okay, the situation is this. There are two from Hungarian side, being Cocker and you know why. Cocker also being green, just like Zephyr. Zephyr also being only one from USA left, but actually, I think if I counted correctly, he got 3 guys killed from Hungary before he got got killed by that very last one, as he was exposed in that one corner and couldn't really move anywhere. And was already getting hit by 1 and needed to get a really good, some really decent shots out against, I'm pretty sure it was against you know why. Know why, moving around the side to the bridge, seeing if he can get some support done. And I would probably move out because, yeah, you get killed in that situation. It seems USA moving in very, very convincingly. Cocker getting 1 out of them, but now it's the completely opposite situation. Now Hungary is only 1 guy left, unlike the other round, and now USA have 3 of them left. And it has to be pretty much a miracle here. Cocker getting 1 of them already, being Tarquin, but Burke moving in with an M4 of himself, and just as Cocker was looking in the wrong direction and didn't really have enough ammo for anything else, neither didn't he want to move, as it seems. He was getting killed. Some nades over to one side while Burker is covering the other side with his own M4. Getting killed though, as the nades didn't really keep the opponents at bay, as it seems. Tarquin with only 5 HP left with an SR8 gets killed immediately as you know why, just slide casually by with 100 HP left and an LR. You know why, just looking around, going through the middle, looking over to the silo, as it seems that it is very much under pressure, and most of Hungary are actually moving back from that. You know why, shooting a little bit, but USA also moving in through the middle by now, and with only 2 people left on Hungary's side and all 5 on USA's, it is going to be very, very hard for Hungary. With only 1 against 5, it's going to be near impossible, to be honest. Especially now that USA are just healing everyone up. Though where is Ballymaster, to be honest? Ballymaster is over at the bridge, as it seems. Everyone knows his position by now. They are actually flanking him now. Though they are flanking him 1 by 1, which is not how you want to do it. But they got his attention away enough just to move in 2 against 1 while he was looking at the other side. Moscow Jones just failing that one jump, choosing another direction as already 2 other guys were on the bridge. So he's going to go for the middle with another route, but that's fine. Just trying to cover both the middle and the silo, as it seems. Though as 2 of the Hungarians are in the middle, he obviously is going to center the most of his focus the most on that. But Hungary actually got the better end on that and actually got 1 home, and it is 10-9 with this. 1 more round and they have actually tied this up. Can Hungary still get this Cinderella story going as they have throughout the whole group stage? It's still 4 minutes going, so it's probably at least 3 rounds, as if I would say so. Yeah, that seems reasonable. 3 or 4 rounds. So it should be possible to tie it up and get a win on this. Ballymaster actually getting 1 kill just from behind, but Zephyr at the same time was also just backstabbing him too. And with that, it's a 1-on-1. Tarquin actually getting the better end on that, even though he had a secondary weapon against an LR, if I saw that correctly. Tarquin with an S8 looking down the middle, getting 1 hit in the leg, sadly not enough to get anything done, and getting killed by a Burger's HE grenade. Not really what you want either. That is not a trait that is really favorable in any way. So with that, Hungary are trying to get this working, but actually USA have been turning this rather disastrous start around and actually getting this to a 3-0 guy lead on that round. 3 still alive. Ballermaster moving in, washing actually, getting one down. All of Hungary actually moving into the middle. One burger a grenade has actually killed Ballermaster, sadly. So it's now in 3-2. Still in favor of Hungary, I'd say. Though Hungarians are falling, as it seems, from one side onto the other. But with a backstab by tripods, it's now the 1 point that they needed to tie it up. But in the meantime, America has gained 2 other points, meaning that they pretty much have to speed up if they really want to get this one tied. Which is also the reason why we see all of a sudden so many rushes in the style of this that I talked about earlier, where you would actually try and move together as a team. And 2 of the USA have been falling, but most of you Hungarians have been falling in the meantime. And with that, it's now 13-10 with 2 minutes left. Really, Hungary has to keep on rushing, but it seems like USA is just sitting back and relaxing while they pick off one by one, like this wonderful shot by Tarquin at you know why. And another one, beautiful also, and tripods. Tarquin moving back a little just because he feels a little bit exposed now that his position is known. But in the meantime, West of USA has been moving in and cleaned everything up. And it's now 14-10. By this point, you have to go for 4 rounds, which is going to be very, very difficult. You have to go for a 2 or 30 seconds round. 30 seconds round. So I said it correctly first time. 30 seconds round if you really want this to get working in any way. And really, the fact that they're washing is completely viable, but it just doesn't want to work as it seems. Which is really, really sad, but they still get a lot of from USA down. It's not like USA just cleans everything up easily. It's just that they just got enough of an advantage while defending that they can actually trade much favorable. Really, though this round seems to actually be working from Hungary because it's now 2-on-1 as it has been a fragfest on both sides, and Hungary actually seems to have the better end on that. And with that, Berko is falling as the last one from USA, making this a 15-11, but 40 seconds left. You have to go for at least 4 rounds to get this one drawn out. Ballermaster getting one down. Okay, with this speed, we may get this working a little bit. At least they still put up a really good fight, even though it's pretty much GG on this point. They get one cleanup after the other. Maybe USA doesn't really care anymore, as you cannot really get this thing working in the meantime. But USA shouldn't be committing way too much hubris here, because it's still possible if you want to clear up fast enough to go for maybe 2 10 seconds round, and then the last one. You just have to start the round. That is the point here. But with that 1 second left, as it seems, yes, that was the very last round on that. And with that, USA won 16-12. And there was really nothing wrong with that. As we saw, both teams started out with a very castle-like approach, where you drew the line on both sides and poked at each other. They were much more aggressive, as we would see from any castle game, but that is just the nature of this map. But on the other hand, as we saw the Hungarians falling not falling as much further behind, but just the time getting not being enough for them actually just to win by trying to be superior. They had to go pretty much all in the last few rounds, meaning that they went for a very rush-centric approach, which paid off sometimes, but sadly USA were expecting that, as it seems, and also they could deal with it enough at least to make it only a 15-12, or 16-12, sorry. So, well, there was nothing really wrong what anyone did. It just, I guess it could really have, on another day, I could probably even, just if Hungary was a little bit lucky, have gone the other way. There was, I feel like it was a little bit of a disorganized mess, maybe, when they washed in. It didn't seem as organized, but that may be just because of the nature of this game that has such a wonderfully high speed. At least when you watch it. When you play it is going a little bit slower, but that's just the nature of playing a game. But that's not the point. As such, no one did anything wrong here, and Hungary put up a really big fight here. But sadly, this is the end of their Cinderella story. But with that, USA moves on 2-0 over Hungary, which is not something to mess around with, further into the semifinals. And so with that, we have only one of the quarterfinals games left, and let me just tell you about that before I go. It's the game between Portugal and Australia, two teams that I wouldn't say I myself that I am really looking forward to, just by their reputation back in my day. Not like they were bad. I mean, Portugal had a lot of good players, and Australia surely too. I mean, the reason why I probably don't know a lot of people from Australia, nor USA for that matter, is probably mainly because I don't play in those regions, I guess. But the thing is that even though that these names don't sound intimidating to me in any way, their records, on the other hand, throughout the group stage surely does. They had pretty much a just as good one throughout the group stage as Hungary and USA. So with that, we are going to again see a very equal and very skillful fight between those two games. So with that, I hope you had a really good time. I surely had. I thank you for watching. I'll be back soon, so stay tuned.